Let's open the OpenZeppelin smart contract wizard page. Here it is. Not sure where to start? Use the interactive generator below to bootstrap your contract and learn about the components offered in OpenZeppelin contract. Okay, let's follow the tutorial. Click on ERC721 button as we are creating using ERC721 standard. On the left corner to select the type of ERC standard to use and the kind of contract you want to write. So let's just click on it. Here it is. Now we are on ERC721 contract. Now excuse me. Now that you have selected the contract standard, on the left hand side menu you should see a number of options. Let's start by choosing the name and the symbol of your tokens. Click the text box with my token and give it a name. Do the same with the symbol and leave the base URI field blank. The token name will be used by OpenSea and reliable as the name of the collection. So let's change the name. Here it is, Alchemy, and wrote it ALCH. Here you can see that it's also effect in the code. Now let's select the NFT ERC721 token features. Now you'll need to select the features that you want to integrate in our smart contract. Right after the settings sections, you'll find the feature sections where you will be able to select the different modules to include in your smart contract. There it is. Okay, now let's start it. In this case, you are going to select the following integration. Mintable will create a mint function only callable by the privileged accounts. Now let's just select it. Okay, now just select it. Now auto increment ID will automatically assign increment ID to your NFTs. Now also select this one. Now let's enumerable. Enumerable will gives you access to on-chain tokens enumeration and functions such as total supply, not present in the default ERC721 integration URI storage, to associate metadata and images to each of your NFTs. So now let's select it also. Here you can see that enumerable is added. Now let's move on to next one, which is URI storage, which is URI storage to be able to associate URIs to to our NFTs. Now let's select it also. Okay. For the sake of this tutorial and because you don't want to create any kind of tokenomics around our NFTs, leave the following modules unticked. Burnable to burn tokens, possible to pause token transfer, sales, etc. Votes give access to governance like features like delegates and votes. Okay, if you want to learn more about these modules, you can check the OpenZeppelin standard documentation, official documentation. Okay, now that you have selected the feature you want, OpenZeppelin wizard will populate the code of the smart contract. It should be as follows. Yes, it is. It's time to copy our code and bring it to Remix ID to modify and deploy it on blockchain. So modify and deploy your ERC21 contract with Remix ID. Now that you have your ERC21 smart contract, let's modify and deploy it on Goerli testnet. To do so, you'll use Remix ID. So let's open it in Remix ID. There's a button, click on it. Next, done. Okay, so we have opened the smart contract in Remix ID. Now let's follow the steps. Using Remix to modify the NFT smart contract, starting from the top of the contract, there's the SPDX license identifier that identifies the type of license your code will publish under. It's good practice in Web3 application to keep the code open source, and it will ensure trustworthiness. So here it is. Then there's the programmer, the version of compiler you want to use to compile the smart contract code. The little symbol tells the compiler that every version between 0.80 to 0.89 is suitable to compile our code. So basically the latest version of Solidity is 0.8.17, so it will going to support that version also. Then we are importing a bunch of libraries and initializing the smart contracts. So here it is. When then creating a contract inheriting from the standards, we are importing the OpenZeppelin repositories. Okay, we have import the libraries here, and then we have inherit it with our contract by using is command. ERC21 enumerable, ERC21 URL storage, and ownable. Okay, now let's move on. As you notice that the save mint function has the only owner modifier. This will allow only the owner of the smart contract, the wallet address that deploy the smart contract to mint NFTs. Chances are you want anyone to mint NFT. To do so, you need to remove the only owner modifier from the mint function. So here it is. That's the modifier we are using, which is providing us by this smart contract. So we are using it because we want only owner of the smart contract to call this function. Now let's move on. You can also remove it from the contract declaration, ownable, and the library imports. Okay, now that everyone will be able to mint our NFTs, you need to avoid people from minting more NFTs than the max number of NFTs in our collection. To do so, let's specify the max number of mintable NFTs. Let's say want the users to able to mint up to 10,000 NFTs. To do so, let's create a new uint variable, call it max supply, and assign it to 10,000. Okay, we want to limit our NFTs to 10,000. So maximum supply of our NFT is 10,000. Next, let's move into the save mint function and add require statement on line number 18. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so sorry, we didn't remove the only owner and ownable smart enable contract from OpenZeppelin, because we want to allow everyone to mint it. So that's why we are using this condition also, that if maximum supply reached, then this message will be returned, I'm sorry, we reached the cap. Okay, now let's move on. Let us spend a couple of words to be better understand what is required statement sorority. You can read more about sorority required statement in the official documentation. Now that you have limited max supply of NFTs, it's time to compile a smart contract deploy into Goerli testnet. To do so, you need to create a free account on alchemy.com, and it has node provider on MetaMask, and get some free Goerli Ethereum. So first, see the requirement statement. The requirement statement basically take the condition. It takes that it will compare the current token number with the maximum number of supply. Either it is less than equal to 10,000 or not. If it is less than equal to 10,000, then it will going to mint next NFT. Otherwise, it will going to return the message, I am sorry, we reached the cap. So that's how require function works. Now let's deploy it. So first we need to create account on Alchemy. Now let's do it.